Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A feeling of embarrassment that leaves you confused. A mental state characterized by a lack of clear and orderly thought and behavior. A confusion of impressions. A mistake that results from taking one thing to be another. He changed his name in order to avoid confusion with the notorious outlaw. An act causing a disorderly combination of elements with identities lost and distinctions blended. The confusion of tongues at the Tower of Babel. Disorder resulting from a failure to behave predictably. The army retreated in confusion. A feeling of embarrassment that leaves you confused. A mental state characterized by a lack of clear and orderly thought and behavior. Bring disorder to. A mental state characterized by a lack of clear and orderly thought and behavior. Untidiness, especially of clothing and appearance. A mental state characterized by a lack of clear and orderly thought and behavior. The quality of being cloudy. A mental state characterized by a lack of clear and orderly thought and behavior. The wetness of ground that is covered or soaked with water. The water's muddiness made it undrinkable. A mistake that results from taking one thing to be another. Extreme excess. An embarrassment of riches. Some event that causes someone to be embarrassed. The outcome of the vote was an embarrassment for the Liberals. The shame you feel when your inadequacy or guilt is made public. The state of being embarrassed, usually by some financial inadequacy. He is currently suffering financial embarrassments. A temporary psychological state. The state of a person's cognitive processes. The state of a person's cognitive processes. A misconception resulting from incorrect information. A wrong action attributable to bad judgment or ignorance or inattention. She was quick to point out my errors. Baseball. A failure of a defensive player to make an out when normal play would have sufficed. Inadvertent incorrectness. Part of a statement that is not correct. The book was full of errors. Departure from what is ethically acceptable. Computer science. The occurrence of an incorrect result produced by a computer. A wrong action attributable to bad judgment or ignorance or inattention. I could understand his English in spite of his grammatical faults. An imperfection in an object or machine. The quality of being inadequate or falling short of perfection. He knew his own faults much better than she did. Geology. A crack in the Earth's crust resulting from the displacement of one side with respect to the other. They built it right over a geological fault. Put or pin the blame on. Electronics. Equipment failure attributable to some defect in a circuit, loose connection or insulation failure or short circuit, etc. It took much longer to find the fault than to fix it. Responsibility for a bad situation or event. It was John's fault. Sports. A serve that is illegal, e.g., that lands outside the prescribed area. He served too many double faults. A wrong action attributable to bad judgment or ignorance or inattention. He made a bad mistake. Identify incorrectly. Don't mistake her for her twin sister. An understanding of something that is not correct. He wasn't going to admit his mistake. Part of a statement that is not correct. To make a mistake or be incorrect. The act of combining things to form a new whole. An occurrence that results in things being united. The act of combining things to form a new whole. The act of combining things to form a new whole. A collection of things that have been combined. An assemblage of separate parts or qualities. A coordinated sequence of chess moves. A group of people, often temporary, having a common purpose. They were a winning combination. An alliance of people or corporations or countries for a special purpose, formerly to achieve some antisocial end but now for general political or economic purposes. A sequence of numbers or letters that opens a combination lock. He forgot the combination to the safe. The act of arranging elements into specified groups without regard to order. A physical condition in which there is a disturbance of normal functioning. The doctor prescribed some medicine for the disorder. Bring disorder to. A condition in which things are not in their expected places. The files are in complete disorder. Disturb in mind or make uneasy or cause to be worried or alarmed. A disturbance of the peace or of public order. Confusion resulting from failure to understand. Confusion resulting from failure to understand. Confusion resulting from failure to understand. Trouble or confusion resulting from complexity. Confusion characterized by lack of clarity. Atmospheric moisture or dust or smoke that causes reduced visibility. Become hazy, dull, or cloudy. Harass by imposing humiliating or painful tasks, as in military institutions. Confusion resulting from failure to understand. Confusion resulting from failure to understand. Confusion resulting from failure to understand. The activity of obscuring people's understanding, leaving them baffled or bewildered. Something designed to mystify or bewilder. A wild delusion, especially one induced by a hallucinogenic drug. Confusion, usually transient, about where you are and how to proceed. Uncertainty as to direction. His disorientation was the result of inattention. An entertainment that provokes pleased interest and distracts you from worries and vexations. The act of distracting, drawing someone's attention away from something. An obstacle to attention. Mental turmoil. He drives me to distraction. Confusion characterized by lack of clarity. An atmosphere in which visibility is reduced because of a cloud of some substance. Make less visible or unclear. Droplets of water vapor suspended in the air near the ground. Confusion resulting from lack of preparation. The experience of being unfamiliar with a person or situation that is actually very familiar, associated with certain types of epilepsy. To cause someone to lose clear vision, especially from intense light. Confusion characterized by lack of clarity. The feeling of distress and disbelief that you have when something bad happens accidentally. His mother's death left him in a daze. Overcome as with astonishment or disbelief.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.